Welcome back to 100.7 Score, the high school fan zone. We're on the Pirate fan zone edition. I'm joined by Lubbock Cooper defensive coordinator Taylor Reed, one of many Taylors involved with Lubbock Cooper, as I failed to realize the other day when I tried to offer him a coffee on the way to the game. You were pretty busy by then. I think you were.
Well, I was going to take you up on it, but I didn't ever see the coffee. So
I owe you.
That's okay.
I'm guessing you were either on the bus or at the stadium already. So
we were getting ready to load the bus.
Okay,
yes, sir.
And then we're with. Are you middle linebacker?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you. Hold up. Make sure you hold it close. And talk loud. Use your outside voice, as my kindergarten wife teacher would say. Cole Stanzione, linebacker, who Taylor's dad even noticed the other day. Apparently, in the game against Tascosa, he was asking you. You said he texted you and asked who that number 5 was.
Yeah, he's watched him play before, but he just called me and he was like, what's 5's name, man? He was all over the field and just gave me a chance to brag on Cole again, which I like to do. So
Cole's getting a lot of airtime because I would almost said that exact same thing to Grayson Page a minute ago, because Grayson's kind of the quarterback of their offensive line and he's the guy picking out who they have to pay attention to. And both of us mentioned that you better find out where Cole's at on that defense. If not, you're going to get a headache out of the deal.
Yeah, he's a great football player. He's an even better kid. It's been an honor to I've been his position coach the last 2 years, and now this year being the coordinator, I've passed that job along to Coach Henderson. But he's everything you want in a football player, especially a linebacker. He's all over the field, and he just plays hard every play, and he's where he needs to be, and he's ready to tackle when he gets there. So that's what you want in a linebacker.
You're about out of blushes now?
Yes, sir.
All
yes,
right.
sir.
Well, let's rehash last week a little bit. Road win against Tascosa, not at Tascosa. Was at that beautiful stadium. I can't remember.
Bain Schaefer Stadium.
Bain Schaefer Stadium, WT's. I think it's only been around 3 or 4 years. Just a great, great facility. 27-7 against Tascosa. Very entertaining game. And I asked Taylor before we came on if it was entertaining for coaches. I think it probably was by the end of the game. I would imagine there was some intensity and some stress as it played out. Now, defensively, you guys were on the ball pretty much all night. Offensively, Hudson Hamilton mentioned that there were some discussions at halftime about how tough things needed to get up front. You saw both sides of the ball, Cole. That's what struck me about Tascosa. They may not be as talented as they have been in the past, but physicality, toughness, that's as tough a team as I've seen come down here from Amarillo in a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we knew they were going to come down and try to out-physical us with their triple option, but we knew that everyone had to do their job and stay disciplined, and we could take it down.
We're going to talk a little bit more with both of you about the switch in mentality going from Tascosa to Friendship this week. But, Taylor, what did you like about what your guys did defensively against that offense? Chip and I talked a lot during the week about it's not real complex what you have to get ready to do, and coaches can tell you do A, B, and C, but guys have to go out there and do the A, B, C part.
Obviously, I think we matched their physicality, and that's key against that offense. We were consistent, though, all night. The kids were very disciplined, and that's what gave us the ability to be successful against that offense, was just consistently doing their job and being physical and matching their physicality. And, you talked about the offense. Number 71 on their defensive line really gave us fits early. And
that Crusher?
Yes, sir. Crush Johnson. Great football name, right?
Yeah, I bet Ryan remembers his name.
Yeah, he crushed Ryan one time. But the offensive line, I was proud of the way they responded in the second half too. So it's good to play in an environment like that against a physical team like that and be able to grind out a win.
The thing that struck me is that I threw this number out for Chip, and I think he was a little surprised. You may have a more exact, more accurate. I think you guys only gave up 3 plays of 10 yards or more against that offense, which people think triple option is going to be grind it. Now, they are kind of built to pop you for 10, 20 yards here and there. And I think one of the double-digit plays was the pass play,
12-yard throw,
last one of the game. But that, to me, was as impressive as anything. Chip put it a great way. You have to be patient on defense against them, and you guys out-patient them, if that makes sense.
Yes, sir. That goes back to the kids being disciplined. If one guy's not doing their job against that offense, they're gonna rip you for 10 or more, and that's the kids doing what they're supposed to do all night long. And you can't get put to sleep against that offense because that's when they're going to rip you. And just proud of the way the kids played, man. They played their tails off for 4 quarters.
So you go into, we're going to switch gears. That was a great win for you guys, but different challenge this week, defensively, offensively, everybody, when you go to host Friendship Friday, 7 p.m. at Pirate Stadium. We'll start with you, Cole. Did you wake up Saturday morning immediately kind of switch gears mentally, or is that on the bus ride on the way home thinking, okay, we had to stop this, now we've got to prepare for something very different?
Coming off a week against a team that ran the ball a lot and seeing the film on Friendship, how they pass a lot more, and they have a lot of weapons on their offense, but this week we're all just working on locking in and knowing our role to lock them down. So
Friendship was in here before. Grayson Page, as I mentioned, their big offensive lineman. We talked a lot about your 2 big guys, particularly up front. And I'm going to get you to say, is it Sione?
Sione Vea, yes, sir.
Okay. I think I actually got it pretty close. Sewell's easy. Jackson Sewell, that's easy to say. Now, you've got other guys, obviously, Cole being one of them. But those 2 guys up front, this may be a limb I'm going out on. You guys have had great defensive players, but the 2 of them together may be as good as you've had in the middle of that defensive line in the last couple of years. What is it about them that makes you guys go defensively?
Well, you know as well as I do, playing any football game, whoever can win at the line of scrimmage is going to probably win the game at some point. But I think the ability for both of those 2 guys to get off of the football every snap, and, they're both twitchy.
Yeah,
they're able
quick
to really get off the football with low pads, and they're violent when they get off the football. And if you can reestablish that line of scrimmage on the D-line, then it makes his job a lot easier and our other linebackers' job easier, and their job is to make tackles. And Sione and Jackson do a great job of playing very hard every play and getting off that football. And that's, I think, just being physical is what they're really good at.
Because you disrupting the offense, whether it's a triple option or a team like Friendship that's flinging it all over the place, the idea is just to get them out of their comfort zone.
Yes, sir. Sione was playing nose guard for us, and he was able to cross that center's face routinely early in the game against Tascosa, and that's key against that offense, and he disrupted their offense the whole night.
We'll come back and talk more Tigers Pirates. They play Friday night at Pirate Stadium. We'll be on Double T 97.3 FM and right here on 100.7 The Score. I'm Randy Rosetta. This is the Pirate Fan Zone. Welcome back to the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. I'm Randy Rosetta. To my far left, if you're watching on TV or think about it on your, I don't know if that radio dial's still a thing, on your phone, I guess, is Taylor Reed, defensive coordinator. Did you say 3rd year?
Yes, sir.
And I'd forgotten you came over from Monterey, so you've been around the Lubbock football scene for a pretty good chunk of time.
Yes, sir. I was at Monterey for 8 years.
We were just talking about Wayne Hutchison, who he thinks they'll let him hang around at Stanford for a few more years if they keep doing okay.
Yeah, they're doing okay. He's a big mentor of mine. Yeah, he was very influential in my coaching career. I'm very thankful for getting to work with Coach Hutch.
Well, and I mentioned to you, if you can beat a Lubbock Christian team coached by Chris Softly the way they did last week, then you've accomplished something, because Lubbock Christian's the real deal at the smaller school level. So Cole Stanzione between me. I've got to say a lot of Italian names tonight. That always excites me, the half Italian in me, because Mark Robato, your counterpart
yes, sir,
at Friendship, and then somebody I'm guessing you probably are kind of matching wits with this week as well, Chris Finelli.
Oh, Coach Finelli is one of my really good friends. I see him all the time during track season. That's
the thing about this game, is there's a lot of intensity, a lot of energy built into it, but there's a lot of fun too, because it's not a district game. It doesn't knock anybody off of what they want to do, and the coaches know each other. Players have to take care of business on the field, but your coaches matching wits with each other. How much fun is that in a week like this?
Well, it's really fun. Like I said, Coach Finelli is one of my really good friends. We have a tremendous amount of respect for Coach Northcutt and his whole staff. I'm good friends with a lot of those guys. They do it the right way, and I think that just adds to the intrigue of the game. But, yeah, I have a lot of respect for their coaching staff. They do it the right way, and they're good coaches.
All right, Cole, so I'll tear this bandage off, because Coach Darden has pointed it out a few times. I may have pulled it out of him. You guys have played Friendship a lot since you've been in high school, middle school. Only beaten them once. the last 5 years. Now, every one of those games has been a great game. I don't know if Coach remembers 2019 when he was still at Monterey. You would have been in 7th grade, 8th grade?
Yeah, I think 8th grade.
That was the 4-overtime Donovan Smith game. That was actually the widest margin of victory between the two teams the last 5 years, which is weird to think about. But every game comes down to a couple of plays here and there, a couple inches on the field. You've been in a couple of them. What about these games get you guys so amped up?
Well, one, it's our rival. That's obvious. And it's just the atmosphere when we play them. Like, everyone's into it. Everyone's locked in. Everyone's focused. And like you said, the last years we've lost it really close. And I think that's going to kind of give us the urge and the anger that we want to come out and win. We don't want to lose all my 4 years of high school to them.
No, that would be something you'd have to live with every time you see those. If you come back, see those guys around, you see them around town now.
Yeah, so we do.
Coach had mentioned this though, and I've pointed it out to him. 2 of those times you guys have lost to him, Lubbock Cooper's gone on to play in the state semifinal, so it's not a horrible trade-off. But you also you'd like to take some good mojo moving forward. Let's get Coach to talk about this. How does that happen this week? How do you guys find a way to beat Friendship from a defensive standpoint especially?
Well, first and foremost, their offense is incredibly talented.
Yes.
They make you defend the entire field. Coach Northcutt and his staff, they do a great job of getting those skill players the ball in space. So I think, first of all, we just got to try and keep the top on them, if that makes sense, limit the explosive plays, and we got to tackle well in grass. It always comes down to that in football, and that starts with sprinting to the football. But just limiting the big plays, I think, would probably be the number one key to the game.
You've kind of seen this in a couple different ways because you were at Monterey when Seth Parr was at Coronado. Not exactly the same offense, but the same concept of getting the ball to as many guys as possible.
Yes, they're very similar. You know, they had 2 great quarterbacks go through that system as well. So, yeah, I'm familiar with it, but I don't know that I've ever defended 2 better wideouts on the same field at the same time, and we're excited for that challenge. We can't wait to see how we can line up and try to stop them or slow them down. We're not going to stop them, but try and slow them down a little bit.
How do you do that from a player's perspective, especially he's talking about Leighton Stone and Chase Campbell, obviously. And the thing about him this year, and you guys' offense is a little bit the same way, is they've got those 2 dudes, but they've got 3, 4, 5, 6 receivers too. We're going to talk about it a little bit more when we come back. But Cole, does it excite you as a defensive guy to get ready to play an offense like that?
Definitely. With the talent and the gifts that they have, it gives us the chance to go home and show how we can defend it, and we're not just gonna let them run all over us. We're gonna do our best to stop them, and we got to recognize where those 2 are and where they're going, and do our job.
We'll talk more about what Lubbock Cooper has to do against Friendship number 8, Lubbock Cooper, I should say, in Class 5A Division II. I'm Randy Rosetta. This is 100.7 The Score.
Our best to stop the
Welcome back to the final segment of the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. I am Randy Rosetta. Reminder that Friendship at Lubbock Cooper, 7 p.m. Friday on Double T 97.3 and right here on 100.7. Got a lot of people talking about that game. We're talking about that game. It's been a pretty popular topic of conversation all week in both places. Taylor, we were just talking in the break, and I've told Chip and Jay both this, for the last several years when I was deciding which game I might go cover, if it came down to Lubbock Cooper and Friendship, my thinking always was I can go watch a really good physical defensive team play and cover Lubbock Cooper, or I can go watch Friendship and have them ring up these big video game numbers. Now the 2 programs have sort of come together in the middle because your offense is a little bit more diverse, a little bit more threatening to a defense, and their defense has been really good these last 6 quarters in particular. You coach against you guys' offense in practice. Why have you guys kind of turned the corner a little bit these last couple of years?
Well, first and foremost, it starts at the quarterback position. Ryan, he's got a year under his belt, and that makes a big difference. Schematically, though, we're very diverse on offense. I was telling you during the break, I would hate to defend our offense in an actual game. We've got a bunch of weapons on the field, and they do a really good job of spreading the ball around to those weapons You can't just hone in on number 3 or number 1 because we got other guys that can do some damage if they get the ball in their hands. But schematically, it's really good the way they add tight ends into the formations, and then they'll spread you out. It just poses a lot of problems for defenses. They've got to be on their toes at all times against our offense.
Same thing for you, Cole. When you've watched them, especially the last couple of years, you've seen teammates and friends kind of evolve on that side of the ball. What has caught your attention about them?
Yeah, it's great to have a running back like Jackson Austin.
He's like a linebacker in the backfield. He's a tough dude.
And he's not the biggest running back you'll see, but he'll run like it, and he's hard to tackle. And then when they try to stop the run and focus on him, we have a receiver like Michael Deaver, who throwing the ball up to, a lot of the times he's going to catch it.
How many times have you guys rewatched that touchdown catch from the other night?
I've seen it a few times, yeah.
Just a couple, but to be honest with you, he does that in practice daily.
Yeah,
so
that's
if you
what I heard.
film some of the catches you see him make in practice, it would blow your mind.
And as any good coach will tell you, if you're going to do it in a game, you have to do it in practice. You have to understand what it's like. But that catch, and not just him, Waters, his catch, the second touchdown catch was pretty impressive too.
A great catch. Get that foot in. I don't know how he kept his foot in.
And the thing I liked about it, and I told Chip afterwards, is Ryan threw the ball where only his guys were going to get it. He didn't have to worry about. He could have thrown it, could have gone incomplete, and you guys live for the next down. But that's, like you said, that's kind of the sign of a quarterback maturing.
That's what Coach Darden would call a winning football play. I mean, we got a free 5 yards, or we get a chance to make a big play, and he put the ball where only Reed could catch it, and he made a great catch.
And I mentioned Friendship's defense. As a defensive guy, what have you seen? I don't know how much video of that you've actually watched, or if your offensive coaches have paid more attention, but they've given up 2 touchdowns in the last 6 quarters, and that's been a little bit of Friendship's Achilles heel at times, is giving up big plays, giving up yards and points. With their offense, it doesn't usually matter. But the last 6 quarters, they've really changed the way they've done things a little bit.
Well, I've watched a little bit of them, and what I've noticed is how they really those front 7 guys, sometimes 8, kind of depending on the formation, they really sprint to the football, and they're reckless when they get there. They're ready to hit people, and I like to watch that on a defense. So that's what stuck out to me, was the speed in their front 7 and how they attack the football.
Cole, give me some words that are personality for your defense. He just described their defense much like I would think of you guys. What are some of your traits that you like about playing on that side of the ball with that group?
I like the grit we have, and all of us on defense. We're not gonna be scared. We're gonna, no matter who we're playing, no matter how good they are, we're gonna play as hard as we can, and nothing's gonna change that.
Which we'll kind of finish up here. The last thing I like about this game is that both teams played that very high-profile game to start the season. You guys going to play Lucas Lovejoy, Friendship playing Byron Nelson. Different results. They lost by 2 points. You guys won by 3 points. That, to me, makes – I don't know if it makes you less nervous, but it has – Taylor, you tell me if what you've seen this week, guys are a little bit more prepared for this environment.
Yeah, that road trip definitely helped. But nothing's going to compare to the atmosphere you're going to see Friday night at Woodrow, because this will be my 3rd installment of the game, and I've never seen a better high school environment than what you'll see Friday night at our home field. So we're excited to get it going.
I'm looking forward to being there as well. Friday night, 7 p.m., Pirate Stadium. I'm Randy Rosetta with 100.7 The Score.